Well, and it's interesting because I started to really look at where I was and how my downward spiral happened, right? It's not like I ever was sitting in a corner contemplating suicide, but I was lost. I mean, I have been working for myself for 26 years. And as an entrepreneur, I have been in offices with staff and an office space. I've solopreneured it. I mean, it's ebbed and flowed, right? And the pandemic and that year 2020 set me on that downward spiral, right? My mom passed in March of 2020. The pandemic hit and my revenue didn't take a dive. It stopped, right? And I had a really great year on the books. I was gonna probably earn over $200,000 and it stopped, right? Then I had an illness that almost took me out twice in a 6-month period. And I was really sickly for an entire year. 22 was better financially, but I was still lost. I was doing perfunctory performances instead of living, breathing the joy. And that's where I think I really lost it, was the happiness, the joy, and the confidence in the unknown, knowing that I'm always taken care of. I need to do the work to manifest me being taken care of, but I'm always taken care of. And that's really where I was. I knew all the things I needed to do in January when we first met, but I couldn't piece them together. I didn't have the love, the joy, the confidence to be able to do it. And our work together helped me understand that many of my behaviors throughout my life were created as a 3rd or 4th-year-old child or a 4th grade child. And I always blamed myself for it. And really, it was more of my ability, my creative ability to cope at that point. But I never understood it and I was never able to release it. So I repeated those behaviors and that just gave me guilt all my life. I think the key with working with you is I was able to recognize and release patterns, behaviors, and self-inflicted feelings from 55, 60 years of living. And that was really the most powerful thing, because first I didn't recognize them. Then as I began to recognize them, and I took the time each week after our sessions to really examine those thoughts, those patterns, things that came up, they all made so much sense to me. And I wouldn't be sitting here happy, working, and so positive about the future, no matter what happens. I couldn't have imagined myself being here in January when we met. I didn't know how I was going to find this.